Douglas Politics, Friday night 7:30. Well, we reach Trinidad and Tobago. My people, we reach. If you vote PNM, you ain't vote PNM, you ain't vote, you don't like politics, you don't agree with politics, well, we reach. Our man who encourage everybody to go to Tobago and Palance. The ferry. Tobago is the place to be. A man who encourage Franklin Can to come to Tobago and then also to open and cut ribbon with Heritage Petroleum in big ceremony. And Frankie gone. And now all are we on lockdown. COVID-19 exploding. But we borders closed. It's shut tight. Citizens can't come home. The little people are getting on. Wade Mark encouraging the little people to get vexed that they cannot come home to their own country. But the borders open and Venezuelan coming. They swimming, they floating, they on pirogue. COVID-19 rushing across from South America. Brazilian variant. And a man bumping all here, a man locked down all here, no more jobs, no more work, nothing. The place in a complete mess. And you all think it's a joke. Politics is a joke? All you vote for that? Well, let me deal with that tomorrow night. We might go 2 hours, 3 hours. Douglas Politics, 7:30 p.m. sharp. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Douglas Politics.
Zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
This is Douglas Politics, yo. Douglas Politics. Listen, Douglas Politics, yeah. Douglas Politics. This is Douglas Politics, yeah. Douglas Politics. This is Douglas Politics. Douglas Politics. This is Douglas Politics, yo. Douglas Politics.
Good evening and welcome to Douglas Politics. We're going one time. I don't know if I can make it. We're going long. Let me tell you something. But KFC boy, like all you had advanced knowledge that place was going on lockdown. How all you had special 10-piece of chicken with 10 side for 110. Just so. And to my Trini people, oh my goodness. No wonder they just do what they want to do. The very KFC man in cahoots with Rowley to shut down, broke down, lock down all you, to bust all you, to throw all you out of work, to kill the economy, and all you, the only place all you could go and line up all over Trinidad and Tobago is by the KFC man, the KFC report man, the Bridgeman's man, the roadmap to recovery man, the man who them PNM bill are roundabout flyover down inside the fried chicken, or die where they go. We are lost people, you know. We confused. Them could really do what we want, what they want. All you study to go and buy them mama and tanty who buy their little goods to try and sell maybe Friday, Saturday, and then bam, they get shut down, locked down, and broke down, and had nothing, but it's all right. On top of that, wow. Let me talk a little sport thing, just quickly. Tokyo Olympics, 2.5 months away, and our athletes are begging for support, begging for competition. The local athletes down here who would love to represent the country at the biggest competition in the global scene have no competition to qualify. They only have until probably June 23rd to qualify. And because of the PNM incompetence, losing the war on COVID, our athletes have no chance. Those who outside, they will thank the Lord, them outside, them get the vaccination and the vaccine passport and they go out there. Thank the Lord that our foreign-based athletes don't have to deal with the PNM. Them is the only ones we could look forward to do something. But our local athletes, boy, are sorry. I don't know what to tell all you. And all you have no hope because Brian Lewis screened for the PNM. So there are no money, there are no support, and he quiet because Balize all up in the K-Packs without Vaseline. And that's what you get in this country. No independence. Nobody can stand on their own. Everybody's selfish. Brian Lewis, you're a total clown. I'm very sorry. Because our athletes are suffering and you pretend that you love sport. You going to make speech. Look, Brian Lewis going to make speech. He knocks the prohibition of peaceful protest at the Tokyo Games. This PNM clown from down here who can't protest that our athletes locally are being disadvantaged. We on lockdown, shut down and broke down. No training, no qualification, dreams going down the drain. He ain't say a word. No funding yet. The cabinet now is looking at funding for Olympics that coming up in 2.5 months, when the Olympics was due since last year, July. And this clown, Brian Lewis, going to make comments about, I had to laugh, about international protests at the Tokyo Games. He gone for people to be able to protest what's going on globally, whether it's George Floyd, whether it's racism, whether it's whatever. But he not fighting for our own athletes down here, but growing an afro like the COVID have he Baba on strike. Brian Lewis, you have no shame. You screen for the PNM, even the PNM spit you out. And now all of our athletes have to suffer because you can't argue, you can't advocate for them, you can't get resources for them. You take whatever shampoo feel to give you, whether it's a bag of bleach so you could look light brown too, whether it is to go Venezuela and pee suck in and pee suck out, that is what you're looking for. St. Kitts to host CPL 2021. Vaccinated fans to be in attendance. Well, I'm glad the CPL find another bubbly to give them some money. St. Kitts, all you're letting these people just go from island to island, taking all your $1 million for nothing. But we can't go, all your trainees. Vaccination or vaccination. Them use out the vaccination and balling, all they use all one time. Pretending like, oh, well, let's get people vaccinated. It's because they're going to expire. They have no choice. Dr. Hoyt tried to say, well, 8 weeks, we could choke you quick. In Trinidad, when you're incompetent, the whole world has said the exact science. 10 weeks, maximum 12 weeks. Down here, we get expire thing. Yeah, man, 8 weeks, we could give you a choke. Don't study that. That is Trinidad and Tobago. That where we reach with Dr. Hoyt. Where Dr. Parasram? You get some good wood, you're going to sleep. Where you going, Parasram? You're letting Heinz take all the wood now? You come and get some wood too. Well, last year we had CPL, not so? $7 million they pay for that for all year. With nothing to sell, nothing to market, we produce nothing, no tourism, nothing. But they spend $7 million bringing foreigners from all over in a so-called bubble. Every night in the bubble had new girl bubbling with them players. Up in Hilton had bubble be a bubble, and may not see no trouble, but that was bubble. But this year had no CPL. Last year had carnival. This year had no carnival. Next year, no carnival. Great is the PNM, so competent. Australia, New Zealand, bubble out. Restaurant, nightclub, concert, theater, everything walking. Australia them pumping. Domestic, COVID low. Because that's what sensible leaders do. They don't create a bubble with hole in it. Yeah? We bailing out bucket, we bailing out ship that's sinking with bucket with hole in it. The borders open and porous, but we locked down. What I go say? To my brother Robert Haddad, I really was, the boy was staying out of sport thing too much, relaxing. Sport gone down so low, it's so depressing to even look. All you have a minister who say, she does jog. I feel ashamed to even criticize her because I know she don't know, and it seems to me like a bullying. So I don't even bother with her too much. Sport funding cut from 140 million to 10 million a year. Brian Tall Lewis, Afro, Clarence Rambarat partner, says nothing. Olympics coming, athletes are nothing. They're now going to cabinet to look for work. Robert Haddad, please, my brother, tell Anil this is not true. Tell me it's not true. You and your brother is not my brethren, my intelligent fellas who develop hardcore international conglomerate. We are not proud of you as brilliant businessmen. You is not the same as that. You is not hardcore, you is not creamery, you is not peppercorns, you is not all them company that making money, clocking, money, and we say yes, we proud of all you. It's not you, is it a different Haddad? You is the CIC Haddad? Not so good at football and thing, argue plenty, but skills, but you try your best. But you the same Haddad that I know. You gone in football because football broken. Everybody owed. Suppliers owed. Maximan owed. Coaches owed. Ball boy owed. Trainer owed. Assistant coach owed. Junior coach. Woman coach. Alvin Cornell owed from since 2012. Anton Cornell. That is not the football you went to manage. Where everybody's owed money. Fellas who only work is coaching football and thing. I'm just trying to find out, is that where you went to normalize the football? To make sure that people could get, we in debt, try and get a little bit of money to everybody, you know, to keep everybody going so they could take care of their family. That is not the mission, Robert Haddad. You the hardcore man, for true. Please tell me what I'm going to ask next is not true. That since you went there, you really pay yourself a salary $4,000 US per month and take it. You really, you who making 100 million a year and you really went in the people football and draws a pay? Robert Haddad, please call me, message me, somebody who know he, before the show done, and let them say, and they'll know he didn't, man. He put that 4,000 and he pay some coaches, he pay the balls, but he ain't take a cent. He didn't bother with that. He tell them fire burn that. I come to serve my country in football. I come to bring my brain, my expertise to give back to my country because I have made lots of money in my... How that is you? You really draws a pay? Look all that. I don't believe that. I am telling all you. The Douglas does not believe that. So I read it in the papers and you know I don't believe everything I read in the papers. So I asking all my CIC brethren them who will just play football and I shake all you up and thing and I still vexed all you from 87 when we should have beat Dwight York and them in the Big 7 and all you come and poison me when Kona score 4 and even Barry Road score 1 in the end. Don't laugh. All you too wicked. We was at the top and all you was at the bottom but all you so don't like we end. But it's alright. It serves we right for being overconfident. Robert Haddad, please, somebody tell me that Haddad did not draw us a pay from this football thing that broken. He did not go in the people broken, owing football, grassroots sport, to take $4,000 US per month. Please tell me. That's all I want to know. That can't be true. As we're talking about that, Trinis, forget UNC people right now. All the UNC people, I'm not talking to all them. My PNM brethren them. My PNM who does play cricket. My PNM footballers. My PNM rugby players. My PNM anything. Volleyball, futsal. My PNM sportsmen. My PNM triathletes. All you listening to me? So all you can play a sport. Recreationally, only if you're in a national team you could train a little bit. But all you can't play no sport. But golf could play. So much so that a man in Shagaramas sent out a message to all the members. Hey boy, I just spoke to the Prime Minister. Any of y'all in archery, badminton, squash, swimming, water polo, diving? Oh, we have no diving. Car racing, auto sport, drag racing, MotoGP, taekwondo, boxing, karate. Any all you could call the Prime Minister and say, hey boss, what's happening? Well, the golf man from Chagramas, which is half a golf course, not even a full 18 hole. The Rowley so love golf, that golf don't like it, that the man in charge of a half a golf course called Rowley to say, hey boss, what's going on? We could still play? And send out a WhatsApp, yes, we could still play. In groups of 5, 4 players and 1 caddy. That poor caddy had a whole 4 bag is slavery hour. All you mad? But anyway, I see all you have tournament coming up. I'm coming down there. Don't let me catch all you playing no tournament. Because let me tell you something. I love sport, every single sport. And all your sport not more important than any other sport. I love golf. I watch golf hours. Them just get fed up on me home. Right? When Masters going on US Open, British Open, I lock down for 4 days, 5 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Right? So don't get tired. I love all sport.
But if all can play, all can play. You can ban all of we from playing all kind. But all you could go and hit a golf club because Rowley like it, and he sucks at it. He's not even good. The ugliest swing, the only thing uglier than he swing is he. Imagine two of them in a mirror. The mirror go break. Don't know which one uglier, Rowley or he swing. Tobago lifeguards concerned. Safety on beaches compromised. First of all, the beaches closed. Tobago lifeguards, all they cool all yourself. But it was compromised all the time. Everything was compromised. But on top of that, the beaches closed in Trinidad. Fitzgerald Pomsite Rasta Hines, who needed a jet ski to get out of Beatam when them boy bathed him down with pea water. He going to give the lifeguard 3 jet ski. We have about 300 beach. He going to boast and pretend he looking in engine and thing. Them buy 3 jet ski. But all the beach and them closed. You can make your payment for mask fines. It's been extended again for the 3rd time to May 14th. These are your fines for wearing mask or not wearing mask. Not the people who was in the 200 Andrew Gabriel daughter wedding. Them don't have no fine to pay. They can't fine them to give them fine. But all you get extension. If you plan to pay the 1,000 fine, you can do so from May 15th to July 25th. Right? The collection of payment has been further extended. So they make law charging you. You have to pay. You broken. You locked down. Them linemen. Them making money. Them open. All they lining up for KFC. But you don't even have an opportunity to pay. Because Faris so busy flexing that he forget to make the system to pay. I hear some of you were condemning the United National Congress. How could we stand up and not defend Trinidad and Tobago's reputation against the US saying, beware of terrorist threat? Well, obviously, all you don't read, all you don't write, all you don't pay attention to politics, all you only in politics because all you feel, all you like, all yourself. All you who never help nobody, never get a work for nobody, never talk to nobody, never meet with nobody, never get costs from people when you're going to check them, never had to fight for local government and go to the corporation and write 20 letters to get garbage collected, to fix drain, to fix box drain, to fix road, to get self-help grant, to fix people roof. All you who feel all you is politician, but never help nobody, just coming to lead and talking nonsense. Rowley advertised Trinidad and Tobago as a terrorist destination, went on a rampage convincing the population and the world that we have terrorist cells. On top of that, look at this. Fitzgerald Pomsite Hines, he now come in the office and the police do a good work and find some guns and ammunition. Not even so many, I mean, but still very good, right? Good 2 holes of guns and ammunition. Hines come out and say, middle of the media, now swearing, you know. Yes, it's a sinister plot against the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Without an iota of intelligence, without an iota of information, without facts, without anything. And even if it was a sinister plot, these are the national security secrets that you keep secret. You ever hear Obama and them, or Biden and them going out, yes man, we had terrorist plot, we got it in Alabama, we got to look South Dakota, Las Vegas, we looking on Miami, we going down, oh God, look, they're coming in on the boat, they're in the plane, we got to what, you ever hear them talk that? They put the people on it to handle it quietly, deal with that because they don't want their reputation, their economies, their tourism to go down. They don't want their foreign direct investment to be affected. They don't advertise these things. Those are the things that are supposed to be secret. Even if there was, now we know in Trinidad it are no sinister nothing. Them just get to thing. You go on social media. Them boys have all kind of guns. Them in funeral, all your police locking down Hindu and Muslim from funeral. And when the Hindu and them put a camphor in the dead mouth, all you're going to tell them separate. But when gangster burying, gun going off, AK-47 and thing, and no police in sight. That's Trinidad and Tobago. So deeper, darker plot to harm TNT, says the Pomsite dunce Rasta wannabe who in charge of Babylon system now. National Security Minister Fitzgerald Ethelbert. Your father really like you, boy. He watch you. He see you come out and say, that is a Ethelbert, boy. Yeah? I like your father. Your father realized something wrong with you from the time you come out. He said, look, Ethelbert. National Security Minister Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines has described the two recent discoveries of large caches of sophisticated weapons and ammunition as part of a more sinister, deeper, darker plot to harm the people of this country. That is a national security minister creating a situation, front page, social media, international, terrorism, plot against the country. And you're shocked that the USA intelligence agency say, watch out for the threat of terrorism in Trinidad and Tobago. Why all you don't tell Rowley and Ethelbert to shut up? Try saying that and leave the opposition to do what we have to do, which is to show that these incompetent bunglers are mashing up the country to nearly beyond repair. He continued, The police have always made it clear that from the looks of that, it didn't look like it was anybody wanting to carry out robberies. So this Ethelbert, he's Yesenia Gonzalez Ethelbert, because he could watch gun and decide what them gun was going to do without knowing who had buy them and who was going to use it. So it's not for robbery, he say. He watched them gun, and he say, we've seen that happen many times before. It doesn't appear as though that was anything in terms of settling gang affairs. So he watched some gun and shiny bullet and said, nah, them gun and bullet wasn't about no gang affairs. Well, this man is the best. All you don't need no intelligence, all you don't need no sword, all you don't need Alexander to go and take me off his jersey and do more arm wrestle with Faris brain like a donkey. All you don't need that. All you need is Ethelbert. Here Ethelbert again. He said, because of the quantity and nature of the things that were found on those two occasions, this demonstrates that there might be a sinister plot. Might be, National Security Minister discussing theories on fairy tales like Planet Senator Ethelbert. We go do a Planet Ethelbert. But I am not a police officer, thank the Lord. And they assured me they are investigating. Because surely the people of Trinidad and Tobago would want to know who would want to accumulate such weaponry. Now we gone into a mens rea. So he done go take the story down the line and the media just print this nonsense. Then wonder why the USA and other countries who believe that no real country will put an Ethelbert as a Minister of National Security to just talk a bag of nonsense. Because a Minister of National Security is a very serious position. As we talking terrorism and Trinidad and Tobago, Rowley hugs up Nicolas Maduro, do the Congo line, Dragon gas deal, Delcy Rodriguez land here in a pandemic with 5 PDVSA officials approved by Stuart Smallpin Young. The government purchased 1.2 million barrels of fuel from Trafigura PTE, which is Wilmer Rumpeti, and then sold it back to ES Euro Shipping, which is Wilmer Rumpeti, who is Chavez's right-hand man who works alongside Astrubal Chavez. They then went to try to sell our refinery to Patriotic Energies, Rocher, and them don't have 2.25 cents to rub together. But Condition 7 said that they must make a deal and sign an MOU with Trafigura PTE, which is Wilmer Rumpeti, which is Nicolas Maduro. Nicolas Maduro is doing deals to break sanctions with Iran. Terrorists. Iran sending tanker after tanker of fuel to Venezuela for gold. This is the link. These are our friends. Rowley is shouting at Mondelo and attacking all the members and signatories of the Rio Treaty. Do you all remember all of this? Rowley put us on the team with Venezuela, Maduro, and indicted narco-terrorists. Iran, the hotbed and home of terrorism. China and Russia. And then you all wondering why the United States of America says watch out for Trinidad and Tobago with terrorism. Let me just read a little article here from Thursday, April 29th. Page 30, Guardian International, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. An American warship fired warning shots when vessels of Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard came too close to a patrol in the Persian Gulf, the US Navy said on Wednesday. Things so hot that an Iranian vessel passed too close by a Yankee and they fire across the bow. But we have a bullet clung Oreo dunce lying email gate, one fool away, ugly shirt wearing, wedding in the pocket, invitation in the pocket, wearing COVID super spreader, talking about terrorism in Trinidad. And then all you're telling we that we must attack the Americans for printing the truth? Well, on that note, Rowley, if you feel tonight will be easy for you, you get COVID and it was like vitamin C. You come out stronger, wilder, more arrogant, with more lies, more bold-facedness, more stupidity than ever before. I will go through your nonsense one by one. And to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially those who supported or vote for PNM, shame on y'all. All you can't find nothing better. All you went and dig down to the bottom of the barrel after all the Kobo done passed. All you went and dig deep into the sewer and come out with this clown called Keith Christopher Rowley. Well, boy, we taking a little break. I'm going to sip some water. And then one fool, Douglas coming at you. One fool. Where your ugly red socks and your Bermuda shirt? Eh? I don't want no Oreo cookie. I eating digestive today. I'm coming back.
Douglas politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago, do we have this thing out to fix? We coming with facts, cut them down like axe. Every kid and race, find and Negro places love to the max. And when we tell them on hell, Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yo. Douglas politics, listen Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics, yeah. Douglas politics, this is Douglas politics.
And it is zero race talk, zero idiotic talk. I deal with facts and information.
And welcome back to Douglas Politics. Share the live, please. Keith Rowley, let me tell you something. You see, you have to get up every day and lie on somebody. Somebody in the UNC, you have to just fabricate and make up lies. Because you're such an incompetent idiot, it's not funny. But you see, me, as much as I despise you for everything that you are, I will never lie on you. So you see, while you could lie and go on in the parliament with a piece of paper and say it's email and take it and say why you must lie under privilege, you see how you could lie and ball the UNC, bringing in migrants and all that. I don't want to go there yet. Let me show you how a real man does do it. Me ain't go lie on you. When you was a teacher in 1969, you couldn't get no girl your own age, and you track and get you with a girl 16 years and 2 months. A girl of school age. You had sexual intercourse with her and you impregnated her and ignored the child for 44 years. You see? You're a scumbucket. You use your power as a teacher to get a child. See? Truth. Truth. Your son name is Garth Alain from that Tobago jaunt as a teacher. You disgusting clown. You see, Rowley? You are a leader of a group, and yet you couldn't leave your junior fellas' wives alone. Ask Grabby Wabby. We have the WhatsApps. Poor fella. You see, Rowley? No lie. What you did with Grabby Wabby wife, your subordinate. Rowley, your good friend. otherwise known as the second small pin, who you give outline approval to go up in the sky. And you love up Judy Raymond? Huh? And he's still your friend? You see, Anil don't need to lie on you because you are a scumbucket. When you was in Mocha Golf Course, drinking your scotch and dancing down below, and me and Brian are up there, let me don't bring the Brian into it, and watching down the 400-pound Lazarus you bring back from the dead, boy. You see, Anil don't need to lie on you. You disgusting human being. So now, oh Lord, I nearly forget. When we see you whining down the road with a 17-year-old girl, does she have a HDC house there now? Eh? Mr. Big Mouth Bajan? Can I hear you? You like to talk through innuendo at all the UNC. We committing acts of terrorism, you and Small Pin say. We sabotaging Kobo Star. We sabotaging Brian Harris Stadium by putting UNC yellow jersey in toilet to make it flood. Everything out your mouth is a total lie. But let me tell you something. One thing I could tell you. Kamla Prasad Bisesa don't do them kind of thing. When she have junior ministers around, she don't interfere with their husband or their wife. You just have junior ministers around in your cabinet and dealing with a wife. What kind of man is that? What kind of team player is that? Grabby Wabby are talking to you, boy. Poor fella. I feel your pain, boy. And you're still defending that man, Grabby Wabby. What he have for you? But anyway, I could tell you that Kamla can't give Donna Cox. Hey, Rowley? You forget I know the man who was dating Sianos crying to banker because you was dealing it. But I know that Kamla can't give Donna Cox. I know that. So all you run this video of this clown that people calling a prime minister who when faced with serious issues coming to lock down an entire country after he advertised to everybody, come to Tobago, Tobago is the place to be, there's no problem of the ferry, come to Tobago, no extra police, no COVID regulation, no separation. People took his lead and went, Spike, he and all, went on lime in Tobago, play golf, drink scotch, eat shrimps, and he get COVID. And so he gets stuffy nose and sneezing and come out healthy and arrogant. On top of that, every single citizen knows that we are now locked down because of your inability to lock down the borders. The borders are porous. End of story. A lockdown cannot work if your entire building, all your windows are open. And when you are faced by questions from the opposition, the UNC, and from every right-thinking citizen in this country, every businessman and woman, every single mother, every person who's going to lose a job, you are asked, why and where is the COVID coming from? Your only response is to lie. You disgusting man, boy. All you play the man lie. Let me see him. Play him.
Because this problem of Venezuelans didn't start under this government.
Really? I got 14.
22 Venezuelans were detained by officers of the Southwestern Division Task Force for illegal entry into Trinidad on Sunday. According to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, officers received information that a boatload of Venezuelan nationals was seen walking from the Palo Seco beach and were heading to the James Street area.
We are the ones who stopped it. We are the ones who said no more. We are the ones who put them on visa. We are the ones who've repatriated some of them. We are the ones who got the Coast Guard to be aggressive in the Gulf. But as you go through the Serpent's Mouth, you come along around to the Atlantic Ocean, all the way to Tobago, you would have seen them. It's a problem that is not just a light to turn on or you turn off. It's constant vigilance. And the Coast Guard is doing a job. Those Coast Guard officers are out there. And it must be very painful for them to be hearing these comments as though, well, they're not doing the job and they're just allowing people to come in because the border porous. They are out there. How do you think they find them so often? It's because they're out there.
Once again, going to try and hold a little fish, a little banking, a little redfish, a little ancho. But look, all of your Coast Guard vessels parked up in the same spot. I guess if any illegal immigrants come over that hill near the army base, Coast Guard base, they will catch them. But they ain't moving nowhere to go and protect anyway. So Small Pin, Pomsite Rasta, same thing. Well done. Brilliant. 5 cases of the Brazilian variant. Where it come from? Kobo drop it on we?
So those who created this environment and telling us about looking after the border, yes, we are looking after the border.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Really? I know 14.
Yes, let me tell you something. I fed up showing you a video week after week, Coast Guard park up there. That clown Keith Rowley does not even know and trying to play, oh, the Coast Guard must be hurt. The Coast Guard men cannot bump a starter without diesel. The people who provide the Coast Guard with the diesel is the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Since 2015, October, the diesel allotment to the Coast Guard has been cut by over $8 million annually so that they cannot patrol. Doesn't it worry you that either Keith Rowley is such a pathological liar that he know they have no diesel because he in charge and he coming to tell you all that they are working out there patrolling against illegal immigration when I have been telling you, showing you, and others have been taking video, Winston Ragu, Damian Lyda, all of us for the last 14 months of this pandemic, showing you it's either that Rowley is pathological or so lazy and dotish that he does not know that they cut the diesel budget for the Coast Guard. He does not know that the Dayman vessels, for whatever reason, they did not buy parts and service it properly. Some of them weren't operational. When Small Pin was asked in the parliament and lied about Dayman engineers not coming because of COVID-19, when Saddam Hussein asked him in the parliament, doesn't it worry you that Rowley is so pathological that he does not know and care, and that's the man who's locking you down? Understand what I'm saying? That's the man who's come with his arrogance to lock you down. You can't do business. Police shutting you down. In Sangre Grande, little plaza with 8 stores, police rushing them to tell them they can't open a Charan's bookstore, a photo shop, and other little places to do computer parts and so on. That they are shut down across the country. Restaurants shut down, bars shut down. Another 14% of businesses will never open after this 3 weeks here. People collapsing, movie town collapsing, employees cannot get work, employers have to let go people. That's the man who's shutting you down. And he does not even know that he has the borders porous by his decisions. No diesel for the Coast Guard, no maintenance for the Coast Guard, no helicopter. That clown does not even know that the Air Guard was reduced from 23 pilots down to 3, and that right now, while they tried to revamp it 2 months ago or 3 months ago and a month, as of last month, they have no more pilots. They down there, the Air Guard, the planes that they have, the radars are defunct. So there's no radar. So even if they go up there to fly, man had to just look. Hey boy, look thing there. That's what we are under. No army camps on the coast. No army camps from Fullerton to Carcass. I showed you all one jeep with lights showing you all day. No immigration, no doctor, no health official, no customs, no helicopters. The people partnership buy a helicopter, them hide it to try and say they win a case in Carson Field. And this man coming out here to talk about the Venezuelan problem began under Kamala. The Venezuelan problem did not begin under Kamala because the reason for Venezuelans leaving Venezuela did not occur till after Kamala was demitted office. Nicolas Maduro only started to become a total dictator around 2015, 16, 17. When he was there in 2014, he was following the Venezuelan constitution. Then he started to mash gas on his oppressive regime. He started to eliminate the Asamblea Nacional. He got rid of the Supreme Court. He put in a cabinet of his friends, Astrobal Chavez, his wife, and so on. And then he started to trample all over the Venezuelan constitution. So the real influx of migration started late 2016, 2017, 18, 19, as things started to deteriorate in Venezuela to the point where there was no food, no medicine, no toilet paper, no water, no electricity. That's when the mass migration of Venezuelans began, seeking a better life in Colombia, in Brazil, in Trinidad, and up the islands. That's what took place. Doesn't it worry you that a man who is prime minister does not even know this? Furthermore, he talked about the OPVs. Let me tell you all again, because stick breaking PNM ears, and they read Mein Kampf as illustrated in the parliament by Colm Duen Imbot, that he read Mein Kampf and he followed Mein Kampf. Imagine a man in government who's in charge of your Ministry of Finance now admitting that he read Mein Kampf, which is Hitler's Bible. Imagine that. And in it, what he learned is, what you do is you tell a lie and keep telling it, and eventually some of it will stick in the perception and the minds of people. So let me clear up the record again for you, because I was in the cabinet. We came and the OPVs were purchased by Patrick Manning and the PNM. The company that was due to build them was having problems with the laser targeting system. These were basically warships that are very slow. So the real efficacy, the real benefit was their laser targeting system. They were to be used to stop drug runners and gun runners. These drug runners and gun runners run at late and dark of night at speeds upwards of 100 miles per hour on pitch black seas. So therefore, your computer laser technique system identifying and firing must be pristine and perfect to the inch. You can have no mistakes, because you can't chase them with a big vessel. It will take you 2 hours to even bump the starter. But these vessels are to hold the helicopters, keep on radar, fire some shots across the bow to slow them down, keep them tracking, and put the helicopter on top of them while other interceptors could come and shut them down. But the most important part of the OPVs was the targeting system, the computer targeting system to fire the guns. It was not working. The company took 16 extra months given by Kamala Persad Bissessar and the People's Partnership government to rectify the problem. They were not able to rectify the problem. So Anand Ramlogan went to court, arbitration, and got back $1.2 billion from the people. So stop this nonsense about the OPVs, they stop the OPVs. Kamala Persad Bissessar and her government then took that money and purchased 12 Daman vessels and 3 Chinese vessels, 15 vessels to patrol. And they were ready to patrol. Keith Christopher Rowley came in and started to cut everything important to the country and to the people, but not cutting painting from the data, building. Thing Noel Garcia want to spend on rent house, loans taken from NCB Global, rental of Faris Al-Rawi building, all of those things that were important to him got going, but everything else from laptop to special needs grant to pension to differently able grant, autistic grant, fuel for the diesel for the vessels, all that got cut. And therefore the Coast Guard have man ready to go and patrol, but no gas. You ever try to start your CPEP contract and you have no gas in your waka? Where you going and cut with Puya? You're going and cut with Tree Line? They have no gas, and that Klong is talking about Kamala Passad Bisesa and Venezuelan migrants. The man is sick. A lockdown cannot work with that Klong in charge and the borders porous. You are suffering, your businesses are suffering without a possibility of success. Do you all understand it? Australia, New Zealand, success. Borders locked down. Legal points of entry, illegal points, all locked down. Pristine, everything operational. We have 81 known points of Venezuelan migrants. Venezuelan migrants are coming across on pirogues. In the last 2 months, 2 vessels have overturned and over 30 people have died. Yet they're still coming across because it is they are sure to succeed. That's why the risk, you weigh your risk with your element of success, your odds of success, your probability of success. The Venezuelans who are here are telling people, yes, come true, it's easy and we could come and get work and we could take care of. They are coming to take care of their families. Now Keith Christopher Rowley, you disgusting, nasty man. This man, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, just attacked all Venezuelan migrants, people who are fleeing the country. And let me tell you something, Venezuelan people love the country more than Trinidad and Tobago. Let me get that clear. For them to leave the country, it had to be pure survival mode, desperation. Okay? Venezuelans sing the anthem and believe every word. They're strong, they're hardworking, they're powerful, and they love the Bolivarian Republic. So don't get tied up with all your confused self. No, they're not a bag of weak little clowns like we, okay? That any baller does to tell them anything, and we just take it. A man who's super spread coming to tell all you who was doing good, fire burn all your lockdown. And we say, yes, massa. Yes, massa, we will do that. Venezuelans love their country. For them to go any other country, it had to be to purely survive. Keith Christopher Rowley, in a press conference of a prime minister, accuses and calls all Venezuelan migrants hoes in our whorehouse. That's what he said. I'm going to play it for you, you know. Venezuelan migrants, single mothers, husband, wives coming across, young families coming across to work and send back money. He is talking and bowling the UNC and Kamala. Them have, I don't want to hear from them. Them is the ones bringing in all the hoes to fill the whole house. That's what he said. Let me tell that man something. All the Venezuelans who are coming here are not prostitutes. They are not doing, I can't say the word. They are not that. You misogynistic pig. They are human beings coming, suffering, coming to work. We have to be careful because some of them have COVID. They don't know. They're not trying to spread COVID. But COVID is ravaging Venezuela. COVID, people sometimes are asymptomatic, but they're coming through porous borders through to your incompetence, Keith Christopher Rowley, and you calling the people that them come to just fill out whole house. Play the thing and listen to this man, you know, listen to him, you know.
So I don't want to hear nothing from the opposition on this particular matter about borders. Because half of them is them and their friends, half of the houses in this country is them bringing in people to make money there.
Foreign nationals were held at a hotel in Port of Spain between Friday night and Saturday morning during an exercise by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Port of Spain Division. The foreign nationals who are in this country illegally were held at the Copacabana Hotel on Dundonald Street. During the exercise, police found the 20 female foreign nationals, 11 adult Venezuelans, 3 Venezuelan minors, 2 16-year-olds and 1 17-year-old, along with 5 Dominicans and 1 Cuban. The women and minors were taken to various police stations for processing.
Now we're going to play the top part of that again. Listen to this Keith Christopher Rowley, lying, ignorant, disgusting human being. And then some of you tell me about, Anil, why do you don't respect Rowley? He's the Prime Minister. Fire burn Rowley, boy. I have no respect for him. My mother teach me respect is reciprocal. I don't lie on here, you know? Not one day. Every time that man open his mouth, he lie on somebody. That the UNC own what whole house and thing. You see who he lying with? Rowley? Boy, you mustn't talk your talk, boy. Who is that you lying with? Sitting down in the man house, comfortable. Copacabana, ¿qué pasa en Copacabana? ¿Qué pasa con Rowley? He bullet. Play the top part of the lying fool again, please.
So I don't want to hear nothing from the opposition on this particular matter about borders. Because half of them is them and their friends, half of the houses in this country is them bringing in people to make money there. So I don't want to hear nothing from the opposition on this particular matter about borders. Because half of them is them and their friends, half of the houses in this country is them bringing in people to make money there.
That's what that clown does. Because somebody in the media asked him a very difficult question. Where the Brazilian variant passed, why the COVID ravaging us when we've been on lockdown for 14 months, when our economy is shattered, when our GDP has decreased by over 62%, when 41% of businesses cannot open. Why are we on lockdown again? Why are there 320 cases of positive COVID-19 right now when we have been on lockdown, when you said we were number one, when you said we're following the protocols, when our nationals have been locked out of this country, 20,000 of them, 9,000 still outside. Where the COVID coming from, where it passing, where it coming through, because the borders are porous. He come to say Kamala from 2015 had the borders porous in 2021. That is what he come to say. And then he come to call all Venezuelan nationals who are running from his friend Nicolas Maduro, his narco-terrorist, his indicted narco-terrorist, his Delcy Rodriguez, who land here with Astrobal Chavez, and they didn't know and they didn't drill down, and they came straight to meet him face to face to talk about COVID-19 and to talk about what? He now saying the UNC own and operating brothels. All you have more picture, he's sitting down with the king. What the man named Bullet? What he named Bullet? Bullet? I don't even know the man name. The man just in Kopak, look him there. Oh God, look, he rubbing his leg. Rowley is really Bullet leg you're rubbing, boy. Hey Rowley, you're so close to Bullet. Call for Rowley and Bullet. If all you need any assistance, call 1-800-BULLET. You could get Rowley. But you talking about people liming and owning whole house, and you liming with the king, and your other boys liming in here with Yellow Man down in south. I want to say a special good evening to Randall Mitchell, boy. When that boy take your girl, you end up liming with Yellow Man down in south plenty. Hey Faris, all you going? All you talk, let your boy talk. Disgusting. But he couldn't answer. And that's what he does. And all your media take that basket. He cannot answer where the Brazilian variant coming from. He cannot answer where all the COVID-19 coming from. He want to talk down and cuss down all the population. All of you who have been following protocols, wearing your mask, sanitizing, separation. All of you who have been responsible, all of you who have small businesses, all you single mothers who need to get out and work, all you Montessori teachers, all of you people now who gone out of work and don't know what will happen. Buildings owners still have to pay rent. Restaurant and bar owners still have to pay TSTT. They still have to pay electric bill. And this clown who invited everybody to frolic while COVID was coming across from South America, from Venezuela, every day 150, 200 or 300 Venezuelans have been arriving every day for the last 14 months. And he couldn't answer. Because he ain't know the diesel. He ain't know how much vessel. He come to pretend Coast Guard doing their work. He know they ain't pay for no helicopter to fly. He know the Air Guard have no radar. He ain't put no army base, no army camp, no vehicles. Them going to get 3 jet ski for beach that close. And our lives are in their hands. And all you tell me have some respect for he. Fire burn he. Why he didn't tell me just come out on the pavement? Eh? You're lucky Munilal is a diplomatic fella. Tell me jump out on the pavement, I jump straight over on the desk. I say, look, it have cameras here, there we go. Respect he. The man has people suffering, people dying, people starving, disrespecting anybody and everybody, describing Venezuelan migrants as hoes, all of them. People who come in to work hard. Do not get tied up, you know. The UNC is not against migration and helping people, but we are in a pandemic. And if our economy is being shut down and our locals are being ruined, businesses ruined and no jobs, we cannot have COVID entering. And COVID is entering with unsuspecting illegal migrants. Because COVID-19, 80% of people are asymptomatic. You have the Stefan Reese video there? Anybody only pop your hand if you have it for me. If you get it. You have it yet? Alright. But you have a Joel D'Souza. Well, play that now. Because it's not only me. And let me tell all you something. You ain't want to answer the UNC about the porous borders. You ain't want to answer Kamala. Because Kamala is a better prime minister than you could ever be at any time. Kamala Big Toe have more humanity and brain than your entire big bullet 1-800 bullet. You understand? Since you don't want to answer the UNC, answer every intelligent citizen who knows that the borders are porous and therefore a lockdown with open windows could never work. So all we are doing is suffering our people, starving our daily pay, starving our single mothers. Children have no education. 35,000 of them still have no unit or no tablet or no laptop to go on school. They miss out 14 months already in a growing life that is a decade of time. Well, listen to other people, listen to the columnists, listen to even the editorials of your newspapers, which once thought that you were good for them. Listen to Joel D'Souza. Run it. Let she talk to Rowley.
Set a batch next. So you give that a shot too. And again, they have to get it back in June. Have it ready for them, you know. Because the same people that you're friendly with today, tomorrow, they will be a horse of a different color. Secondly, let me advise you again. Let me give you a little tip. If you don't have it right. So, try and see if you could build some relationships. Well, you don't go yourself. You don't go yourself, Dr. Rowley. You better send man like Austin Warner. You better send man that people could relate to, that people like. Because you know you're not a like man. None of the embassies, none of them want to have nothing to do with you. So you go and see if you could get Mariano Brown and some good people to go by the embassies and see if you could get Biden and them to give you a little bit of the 60 million that he giving away to people. Because I didn't see a name on the list. I didn't see a name on the list of world leaders. You ain't worried about that? You ain't worried that you didn't make that? But me, I told Barbados and the Prime Minister of Jamaica spoke. Where were you? You're the head of CARICOM. You have your shame. Huh? You have no shame. Oh God, man, you're shameless. You're shameless, shameless, shameless. And then you come today to buff people today? Oh God, you're sickening. You're sickening, Dr. Rowley. You can't do me one single thing. I live in Trinidad and Tobago, San Fernando.
You don't want to hear Kamala. You don't want to hear the UNC. You want to only talk to Bullet. You and Faris hug Bullet inside Bullet House. So if it's a Ho House, what is the head of the Ho House called? The Ho Ho House? There you was in, Rowley. The Ho Ho House. You and Faris was sitting down in the Ho Ho House. Eh, Rowley? Well, listen to somebody else then. Stefan Rees, come in and talk to the Prime Minister now. They say Anel don't respect him. With the hell lie? Respect what? Respect that? Boy, I respect something I step on outside after the dog pass more than Rowley. So they don't get confused at any point in time. All you run Stefan Rees. Let me hear Stefan Rees talk now, boy.
We have 15 damning vessels, and that man stood on a platform yesterday at a press conference and tried to blame the partnership government for the current situation with illegal immigrants in this country. In the middle of a pandemic. That man stand up on a platform at a conference yesterday, pointing the finger and trying to deflect and put the blame Kamala. He sat back with blame Kamala. It worked for him in the first 4 years now. So he gone back to that. This man, who, Shamfa Cudjoe, when they now take up office, say, we in charge, deal with it. All you in charge for 6 years. 6 bloody years. What have you done in the 6 years to have the border patrol, the Coast Guard working more efficiently? Nothing. That man going back to OPVs and how they get rid of the OPVs and they open up the borders. That is propaganda talk. Like propaganda talk, boy. You know what common sense tells you? Common sense tells you that if I challenge something and I go to court and I win, I was right. And the other person was wrong. The government at that time, the OPVs were defective. The radar and the guns wasn't even working. So what did they do? They said, no, we're not paying for that. We don't want that. They took it to arbitration. They took it to court. They won. They win the matter. They were awarded X amount of money. With the money, they bought, I think it's 14 or 15 damning vessels. And those vessels have been parked up in Stobbles Bay for the last 6 years. When will this man stop lying? When will he stop lying?
Y'all look at it. Look at it. You heard Stefan Rees. Look at all the vessels. And those are the vessels that Rowley has parked up there. Look. Pop that volume. I feel that volume on it. You all saw them park up there I went fishing 3 times in the last 4 weeks. And I show all you, always park up. Because Rowley does not care. He did not give the Coast Guard the diesel to run it. He did not give them the maintenance to maintain the vessels. They have not been patrolling for 14 months and previously for 2 years while illegal immigrants from Venezuela were coming across to look to survive, to look for livelihood, to look to work, to send back money to Venezuela, because Rowley's friend Nicolas Maduro is the most oppressive indicted narco terrorist out. And he lines with Iran, and you all then talking about Trinidad and Tobago being on a terrorist watch or advisory from the US. It's not only, or they don't want to listen. Rowley, you don't want to listen to Kamala and the UNC? You don't want to? Well, let me go quite Barbados now. And let me listen to Market Vendor. All you have to understand, don't listen to Anil alone. This country, everybody need to stand up now. Where you voted PNM, you made a mistake. Everybody make mistake in life. So what? You didn't know Rowley was so dishonest, so ridiculous, so non-caring, so wanted to procure without procurement, so love a certain type of people, so love golf and nobody else. All you didn't know that. Okay, forget that. That water under the bridge, we are at a movie now. Because this country, we gone through the world laughing at us that we have the biggest clown in the history of the CARICOM and Commonwealth. Biden invitee. Biden look past he. Biden call Holness. Biden call Myanmar Motley. Biden call Gaston Brown. Biden tell Blinken, don't study Rowley. Rowley telling him to ease sanction. Biden must get some sanction. Rowley say we don't beg for vaccine from India. He begged Biden. Biden right back and say, hey boy, I don't see about my people, boy, you take your time, yes? Now, let's hear Market Vendor from Barbados, Bajans who have taken care of us, our 33 citizens, when we lock them out under small pin. Them take care, and small pin attack Barbados and say Bajans want to use it. Bajans don't want to come here under no PNM. Barbados have a real prime minister. Barbados going good. Them making opportunity. Them walking. Them not locked down, shut down and broke down like we. Run it, man, Market Vendor. Let me hear Market Vendor.
Yes, it's me, Market Vendor here again today. Lost. What's going on in Trinidad and Tobago do at all? I mean, Trinidad and Tobago like it's one big prison these days, cause as of last night, midnight, everything like it locked down in Trinidad and Tobago. A friend of mine sent me this here and tell me, Market, as of midnight last night, no restaurants and bars can be open. All malls will be closed. All places of worship will be closed. All gyms and fitness centers will be closed. All spas and beauty dispensing areas closed. Casinos, cinemas, theaters, clubs closed. Public service will operate on essential service only. And so on and so forth. Well, first of all, let me start the last one though. Public service will operate on essential service only. I thought that was what it was. I thought public service was really an essential service. If it ain't essential, then I guess it could do without it, innit? Oh, lost. And look, Trinidad and Tobago, have your borders not been closed for a year or nearly a year now? So what kind of thing this is at all that going on? If the border's been closed, how come when you're getting all this COVID inside there? It seems to me like you got a Ministry of National Insecurity. And it also seemed to me that your borders are fairly porous. Well, I know I have water all around Trinidad and Tobago, so I guess in that regard it's porous, ain't it now? But God dear. Not even worship? I can't go and pray a little bit? You can't really close all places of worship, though, because I can pray inside my house. Just FYI. You understand where Market coming from? So what are we supposed to do now? No doubles at all? No roti, huh? Not a coconut vendor around the savannah? You mean I can't go down by, Shagaramas, huh? I can't go down Maracas and get my bacon shark and bake, whatever you want to call it. I go down by Richard or his sister, or one of them. You mean I can't go down by Arapita Avenue and get a little sushi? Oh, lost. Yeah, you really hurting, Market Vendor. I can't go by Trotters night and Lime a little bit. Nothing so at all. Jenny's Bunny Boulevard, nothing. Well, I want to close down Parliament too as well, because you get a lot of hot air inside there too as well. Yes. Look, you see me, Market Vendor, it seemed to me like you fellas are in charge, like you really, the vupsin, as the Trinidadians will say, the vupsin, I like that Trinity word real bad, them vupsin, here what I'm telling you. I feel that you need to get a little help from Mayor Amor Motley, because she at least know we had a second wave too as well. But we have got more waves than we got down at Maracas. On the East Coast of Barbados. You got wave after wave after wave. And yet your borders are closed. Huh? Oh, alas, I feel for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because these are people who love to party. These are people who like to get together. Trinidad and Tobago people, Trinidadians say ignorant people, and them know what they got to do. Yes, all of this seems like a lot of papi show. You closing down and locking up everything. And the only people that ain't lock up is the criminals. Them, they're free to walk about and do as they want. Hey, I was only a market vendor, but let me tell you something, Skipper. I feel you can pay some real political blows for this one. Elections coming up, ain't it? Look, let me tell you something. You better get the handle on this here, because Trini don't like the money locking he up inside the house. But it's in the Royal Jail, Trinidad and Tobago, like a big institution, a big penal, and not a penal institution either, a big penal institution. I was only a market vendor. I go off for now. But you have a blessed and a wonderful day. Yeah.
Want to answer Kamla. You don't want to answer the UNC. You don't want to answer the media because you're bullying them. You go answer Stephen Rees. You go answer Joel D'Souza. You go answer every citizen outside there. Why are the borders porous? Why, in a pandemic, have you locked out citizens? Turned citizens who are at home against those who are abroad to create some sort of phobia, when all it took was repatriation through PAHO, World Health Organization, Ministry of Health protocols. But COVID-19, do you know that in Venezuela today, 1,424 cases, over 64 dead? In the last week, over 8,000 cases positive of both a mix of the Brazilian variant and the normal COVID. So where you thought we get it from? And the media, you all taking that tactic when Rowley started to shout. And for a man who had COVID for 17 days and 5 positive tests, he real energetic, boy. For a man who heart ain't good, who have comorbidities up in his nose hole, he come out that thing good. But all your lockdown and everything shut down and nothing working, and he telling all you, on top of that people could come, police could come in your house. This man is a madman, but we ain't reached there yet. Because let me tell you something, Rowley, when you are accusing people of nonsense, the UNC under leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar own what 50% of the whole house and have illegal immigrants in it. When you lining up and rubbing bullet leg, you rubbing bullet leg where you want it from bullet. Look all you holding hand, cuddling. You ever so affectionate with Sharon in the last 20 years? I ain't say Judy, you not say Sharon. I ain't say Grabby Wabby wife, you not say Sharon. I ain't say the 17-year-old, you not say Sharon. I ain't say Lazarus, you not say Sharon. I ain't say Donna don't get cocks, you know, I say Sharon. And you talking about people? 1-800 bullet, let me see more. Let me see Rowley, the man who talking about other people. Talk about other people, lie on other people. Go ahead. Run the Rowley.
That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Wait. When it's gonna stop? Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
1969, teacher 16. 2015, big boy leader of the PNM 17. That guy is this house? Rowley? Huh? Boy, you are a sick fellow, boy. And you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, forget, I'm not talking UNC people now, you know. Because we had to suffer that for some people who thought Rowley was something. Now all you know what he is, a total incompetent, disgusting scumbucket with no idea, no plan, no care for you, a pathological liar, and a real dirtbag. That's what you all put there. The whole world laughing at us. We are now on lockdown without any hope of success. He then coming to tell you police could come in your house when you in your house taking care of your family, following protocol, all you buying out sanitizer, have mask in car, mask all over, washing, checking temperature, staying safe, going only one person in the grocery, keeping your family safe. He coming to tell all you, without any scientific data, that police could run up in all your house. Well, the Law Association hit he some cuff. They basically call him a dotish fool. Put it up there now. Bring that big, let me read it. Where all want me read? The association is aware that they reopened numbers of infected persons, right? And then they got yesterday, with all due respect, without making a reasonable link between the conduct of the citizens on the private property and the rise in numbers, the Honorable Prime Minister, I'll move it for me where I go read it. I'm reading it from there, no, Archie. The Honorable Prime Minister seemed to refer to intended engagement of purported powers under the Public Health Ordinance 1940? Right. The Prime Minister said, inter alia, that the police will be able to tell you, look, blow it up big and forget me. Right, go up now, move up. Right, up. The police, right, nice. What to do? Prime Minister said inter alia that the police will be able to tell you what to do home, and warn that the police will intervene in private spaces if they were of the opinion that what is going on in that private space is detrimental to the public interest. If this is the intention, the Law Association is of the view that this is simply wrong. Move it now. Bring me back. That this is simply wrong. A Prime Minister, not even understanding the law, talking, the head of the National Security Council, the man who appoint Fitzgerald Ethelbert Pomsite Hines as Minister of National Security, talking nonsense and confusing the police, confusing citizens, confusing homeowners, confusing everybody. And that's a Prime Minister. Trinidad and Tobago, I'm very sorry. All you have to do something. Something the people have to do, because we cannot go on like this. This is madness. Yes, some of y'all made a mistake. Enough of y'all, along with an EBC that have questions to answer, with the niece of a former sitting minister and the best friend of Dr. Dunce. Two of them from SAGS. Not at the top levels of SAGS. There are many bright SAGS girls. I'm very proud of them over the years. But not them two Dunce. One of them only getting more bundles every week. Not bundles of internet, you know. Not online interface, Wi-Fi for children to learn, you know. Bundles for she flipping head, you know. To look good for who? Rowley? You too old, girl. We coming back.
And in fact, the best that we had been in this situation was in the month of February. Interestingly enough, everybody was afraid of Carnival. But once the decision was made that there'll be no Carnival, and we intervened to keep crowds from accumulating and propagation of the virus from happening, the numbers in February were relatively low. It didn't take us long to see those numbers climb upwards, because the numbers will climb depending on the level of infection. And the level of infection will climb depending on the behavior of the population. Because it only takes the drop in the guard of a few people and the irresponsible conduct of a few people, maybe one or two parties, maybe one or two lines, to put us on a slope to go backwards. Simply said, you have been warned. And that is where we are in Trinidad and Tobago today. You have been warned that we are in a relatively good position, but by our individual actions, we could change these circumstances for the worse, and the consequences would be harsh at a personal level. Plus some unbelievable acts of irresponsibility and outright dotishness, having consequences of increasing the level of infection in the country.
Some unbelievable acts of irresponsibility when you were invited to your number one financier and friend who does probably line with bullet too, but I never see he in no picture with bullet for true. Your brethren who was in Ken Valley funeral with your hand in hand hugging you, who was in every carnival fete with you, who went down Guyana to try to help them in election down there. Your boy who you just sit down at Adams and eat bagel with. Andrew Gabriel, daughter wedding. You ain't talking about that. You're talking about everybody else. You had an invitation to that wedding while you was talking and buffing the others, buffing the citizens, buffing us, buffing people who vote for you. When you had an invitation to the wedding, the news, they say they have pictures. Somewhere they here have it. They have pictures of people behaving inappropriately in Chaguanas and in Port of Spain, not wearing their mask properly and so on. And news there, where the pictures of Andrew Gabriel daughter wedding with 200 of them, where Rowley was supposed to go. And who else was inside there? And news there, the newspaper of Judy Raymond, the newspaper of Rowley K-Pax, where the pictures of Andrew Gabriel daughter wedding. We can't see none. We ain't get to see the cake. We ain't get to see the beautiful bride and groom looking dapper. We ain't get to see nothing. We ain't get to see who went there to shake hands, how much wear mask, who was wearing mask, who not wearing mask, who grind on who whine on who spit on who fall on who. We ain't seen nothing. You going to send pictures of citizens just walking around, and some may have the mask down here. Or you ever try to walk in the hot sun with that mask on? Especially if you have asthma or allergies or anything. It's nearly impossible. This is madness. These people do what they want. The next one was flexing with a certain man in a room. And then the next one, because he flexed with a man in a room, them get promotion. Man on man bring man to get promotion. All you're real good in this country. And that man had the audacity to shout at all you. Now he not shouting at me. No, me ain't care about he. He could talk and ball how much he want when he dance ball itself. I don't care about he. But all you who vote for he, who think that he is some kind of prime minister who deserve to be there, well, it's all you he buffing. Some all you go, oh gosh, the prime minister tell us, let me go and sit down. That's all you. That clunker buff me. If you ever want to wear another Bermuda shirt in a press conference again, me have no time for he. But all you who vote for him, now learning the arrogance. He doing everything wrong. Mr. Super Spreader, Mr. Golfer, Mr. Scotch drinking shrimps eater all over Tobago. He who invite everybody to Tobago. He who had wedding invitation in the pocket, coming to tell all you about you've been warned and now lock all you down. And all of your family is suffering. You have nothing to do. And all you think that's funny? Actually, I ain't taking no break, man. Let me also read something here. Guardian is so amazing. And Sabga, the man called earlier, Ansa Makala, a bunch of liars with the Pfizer 351,000 that D.L. Singh say he called earlier and asked earlier to pay for it, 8 million US. And earlier say, yes, we go pay for it, but just give you a little early payment or give you a receipt for we payment on we taxes. They say earlier lie, they never ask earlier. And earlier still gone in the babam. Sabga, I thought earlier Bajan. I thought when thing was going out of hand back in the day, we could have count on Sabga to take care of we boy. Sabga only lost your cajones. It gone away in Rowley golf ball pouch. Rowley caddy holding all your balls for all your Sabga and Samakal. Because look at Guardian now. Though I can't make this up, you know. Guardian says more vigilance is needed at ports of entry. Okay? Citizens would have been stunned yet again yesterday by news of another major arms and ammunition cache that made its way into TNT via legal port of entry. More significantly, however, was a statement by Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines that intelligence suggests the activity was part of a sinister plot of the criminal element and so on. This may be the only conclusion. Having the experience of the 1990 attempted coup, so them now going further into terrorism to give Trinidad and Tobago a reputation of terrorism to make sure that Rowley and Ethelbert sound like they're making sense. And then when the US put on their advisory, look out for terrorism, all you're looking shocked. Eh? Having the experience of the 1990 attempted coup by the Jamaat al-Muslimin and the intelligence that was said to have been circulating before that attack, the current scenario is frightening. In this regard, Commissioner Griffith, Minister Hines needs to have critical conversations with National Security Council or another look at security mechanisms at our ports. Right? So at our ports, not porous borders. So guns, ammunition, drug, cocaine, illegal immigrants not coming through the porous borders. And Guardian, well, let me tell you something. Panamá establece nuevos requisitos de entrada para pasajeros provenientes de Sudamérica. What does that mean? Panama in Central America establishes new entry requirements for passengers from South America. The health authorities of Panama announced changes in the entry requirements for passengers who have stayed or transited through the country in South America during the 15 days before. Why, boy? Why did Panama make it more stringent and more difficult for people coming or having traveled to South America to come in them country? I wonder why. Could it be COVID blazing out in South America? Could it be the Brazilian strain blazing? It's 2.5 times more infectious. Could it be? Yet we blazing here with porous borders and South America 7 miles away. And you let that man just shout down the place. We on lockdown. And let me tell you all something. The media attempts once again to take a terrible situation that no human being with a brain should agree with. Anyone who agrees that a lockdown with open porous borders will work, something wrong with all of you. It cannot work. A lockdown means lockdown tight. All you laugh at Kamala when she say put a dome of security, and all you had that same Rowley, that same Bermuda shirt wearing, red sock wearing clown, who lineman with bullet, 1-800 bullet. All you had he laughing at Kamala and saying new jobs to be created. A dome builder, dome engineer, dome janitor, not even understanding the security dome used in Israel to protect itself from Hezbollah and so on, from terrorist attacks. The dome that was used in Anguilla, it's a security term, which means you lock down everywhere. Sky, sea, land, lock. All resources, Coast Guard, radar, helicopter, air guard, police, car, bike, everything locked down, creating a dome of security. Don't you all wish you all had Kamala dome now? Because it would not be locked down 14 months after we were locked down with market vendor and all of them wondering what's going on with the incompetence in Trinidad and Tobago. Panama understands that COVID-19 is ravaging South America. So they have restrictions. Don't come up so by we. But they're coming in here by we with no diesel in our Coast Guard and a clown shouting down at other people. But you know why he's allowed to do that? Because the newspapers allow it and have continued to allow it. I'm reading the Business Express today, page 10, 30th April. And they had the headline, business groups support COVID-19 restrictions. Lockdown a necessary evil. That's the headline. Then you go and you read this entire article. And they interviewed 6 groups or heads of groups of businesses. 4 out of the 6 said this is madness. You cannot lock down with while we have porous borders. You have to see about the porous borders, because locking us down is just going to suffer us and kill business and lose jobs, lose economic activity, and COVID-19 will still be rampant. 4 out of 6 said fire burn Rowley, and that's stupidity. Lockdown does not work with porous borders. 2 said, well, we kind of agree that it have to be done because it's out of whack. Right? And one of them was our Rima PNM man who on our board. PNM put you on our board. That one. And some other one. So 2 kind of support, but one is a Balize all up in the air hole. And the Express puts business groups support COVID-19. So the article shows that there is no support, but the headline, which they know most people read, not everybody's go through the whole thing like the Douglas OCD with the news. People go just read that and say, oh, well, people support Rowley, man, he's doing great in COVID. That's how we could actually have believed last year for a period of time that we were number 1 in COVID. I know many of you really. The boss tell me to be more forgiving and things. Let me try to listen to Kamla Prasad Bisesa. She said, you know, when people make mistakes, Anil, don't buff them up. Talk to them. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Bring them in. Okay. Let me try the softer approach. I know that some of y'all heard by allowing the media, the government, the convent girl, Dr. Parasram, some of y'all were even enamored with him and thought he's so beautiful and good looking. Now all you don't even want to see Parasram, because all you realize he played the fool, smart with foolishness, and he had become a PNM political puppet. So those of you, some of you who I had a little discussion with or argument with last year, June, July, going into election, and you all would tell me that Rowley was doing so good with the COVID, they were doing well. Clearly you see now that that was a myth. That was a perception. It was not true. We were never testing well. We were never doing well. We never had any plans. The border was always open. COVID-19 was always ravaging. We didn't know what was going on. We don't know if we had statistics. We didn't have a curve. We didn't know if we flattened it. If we got a second wave before our first wave, that was an impossibility. Our citizens are locked out for no reason. The only country to do that oppressive maneuver. It's a total mess. Vaccination is just the latest example. We are last in the world in vaccinations. They are now giving out full dose. People don't even have the second dose because we got expired vaccination that would expire before the second dose. We only had 71,000 or 76,000 vaccines. We need 1.5 million. We have no clue where the rest of it coming from. We have no carnival, no business, no bubble. We have Brazilian strain here now. So all of you who heard thinking I'm a fool, but you see the newspapers do that. The chambers do that. Right? Chambers ask PM to consider restaurant. And let me just deal with the TTMA quickly. TTMA, you epitomize everything that is wrong with Trinidad and Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association put out a press release saying that they fully support Rowley and his lockdown. They mentioned nothing about porous borders. They mentioned nothing about success of a lockdown. You know why they were supported? Because Rowley did not lock down manufacturing. So the Manufacturing Association, while yes, you are really there to protect your industry first and foremost, in a pandemic, when all of us are in this together, so them PNM say, but them playing golf and liming, and them could drink scotch and eat strips, and all your lockdown, and them salary drawing big, and all yours unlocked. You should be able to think about the pain of somebody else. Pain of the restaurateurs, the businessmen, the movie, the bars, the other shops that cannot open. Just because you could continue to manufacture, because Rowley, for some reason, without science, just leave you alone. By you saying that that's okay, you are upholding an idiot who would later on sometime get you. So to the TTMA, shame on you. You're really sad. That's the boss lady now. I think they changed she, me and him sure. I don't even know who wrote it. Let me see who wrote it, boy. Let me check and see what's the lady name. I know. TTMA supports temporary measures. Let me see it here. The Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association is expressing full support for the temporary COVID-19 measures. In a statement yesterday, TTMA said it understands the challenges, etc., and they expressed full support. The TTMA said it is alarming that 328 persons were recorded as infected. Is it alarming? Were any of y'all in the wedding? Andrew Gabriel's sister-daughter wedding? Any of y'all were there? Any of y'all from the TTMA or any manufacturers in Tobago balancing and taking picture without mask in nylon pool and swimming and thingy? Any of y'all hired Venezuelans who came across illegal immigrants because they're cheaper than paying all the official legal limits for our labor laws and so on? TTMA. It is in this light the association says it was in agreement. Describing them as such, the TTMA said it supported the decision not to close the manufacturing sector at this time. It noted that keeping these businesses open is imperative. So keeping your business open imperative. So it's great. So you ain't had to lock down, you ain't had to lose that. You could manufacture, you going good. So fire burn the rest of the country. Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, selfish. What you want me to say? The TTMA admitted that the closure of bars and restaurants will mean no curbside service, affecting many within the manufacturing sector, but said that this needed short-term measure will be in effect until May 23rd. The body said it is hopeful that the measures announced will bring the desired result. It is hopeful? How are you hopeful, TTMA? We are locked down. We are suffering. Well, not y'all. Y'all could manufacture. Good for y'all. The borders are open. Between 200 to 400 Venezuelans are coming across every day for the last 14 months and continuing. Coming in pirogue, coming in boat, coming across all day, all night. From Ikaka straight down to Fullerton, all down Cedras, all down, take a drive down in the south. They're coming across. They don't know if they have COVID-19 or not. They're not getting tested. They're not going to hospital. They are not on lockdown. They have to work to send money. They are illegal immigrants. They are then interacting with our community. And you hope that if we lock down, while the borders open, that it will be successful. But you don't care. Because even if it's not successful, you're still open. That is great. That is why Trinidad and Tobago is such a successful place. That's why we take care of each other. Let me tell you something as we go. I was just thinking today when I read this TTMA thing, how selfish it is. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't think like that. And it was because I play sport. Especially when I think back to when we played Fatima 1987. We beat all kind of teams. But when I look at my team didn't have star boys like the other teams we beat. My team had Scott Rodriguez and me up front, Sean Ramdu. We had the Noble Ostrich. We had Lawson Bernard. We had Keith Farina. We had Anthony Saga in the back. No big names. When we beat inside like St. Mary's, who had Kona Hislop, you had QRC with Giuseppe and the little red man who every time you touch him just fall down, and Ramdeen. We beat Dwight York in Tobago with Dwight York and Colvin Hutchinson and Squeezy Nose at Signal Hill. Presentation had Anthony Sherwood and Bertram, Romano Paul. St. Benedict's had Ivan Sampson. San Juan had Louis Lejean and Mickey Rat. Big players across the board. And we beat all. Why? Because nobody on Colin Murray Fatima team was a star boy or a big boy. I get as much enjoyment from Scott Rodriguez hitting a left foot bullet and stringing up the St. Mary's keeper before they put in the Gavin Mose to go and save. When the keeper had a big afro on St. Mary's ground and beating them 4-2. I get as much pleasure as Sean Ramdu shaking a man, getting kicked down, taking a penalty, either side, either foot. Because we had a team. And that's where we beat all them star boys, them big players, Mickey Grimes and all them, Sheldon Bennett and them was playing for the front schools. We didn't have that. But we nearly beat everybody and we the only side beat. Because we work together, we fight together, we fight for one another. TTMA, shame on all you. You okay, so fire burn the rest of we? Nah man, TTMA. Nah man. All you. The Douglas out, you know. Tuesday. Montai, big PNM treasurer. PNM, I go in and read that judgment. Tuesday, I go deal with it. PNM just call everybody thief. But it's only them MP on charge before the magistrate court. And them treasurer now get called all kind of thing by a judge in a judgment. I go read the judgment. Andre Montai, boy. PNM treasurer. Bless. We out.
Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago to